Hey, Marbles, what's up? So, a couple of things. One, it's been 3 weeks. Sorry about that. Moved halfway across the country to come back home to be closer to my kiddos, my family. And as soon as I got here, my nephews, I call them my two boys, to go along with my big boy. We're super duper close. Like, I watched those kiddos take their first breath into this world. And the ant life is a pretty good life. And I was so excited to have them, and they were so excited. They brought the flu. And their mom took a much needed vacation for her anniversary. And so I had them for the first few days I was home. And my kiddo came down and guess he got the flu too. So it's been a lot since I've been home. I have been working on videos, but I didn't think I was going to do one today until a conversation arose with my kiddo that we didn't know it was going to happen, and then it did. And I kind of want to talk about it. I'm not going to go into like great detail or anything, but it, for me, was a life-changing conversation. Might get a little teary, might throw a few curse words in there. I don't know how this is going to go. He and I just got off the phone not too terribly long ago. I've tried to start this a couple of times, and I've freaking kind of go to a puddle of tears, and it's like, okay, hold it together. Sorry, it's Sunday. We had a golf tournament yesterday at our Elks Club, and I was there for about 13 hours behind the bar. So this is what you get. I am in my grocery getting, making food, doing laundry, clothes for the day. So you're welcome. Anywho, so what started out as a very simple conversation about, dang, Mom, that soup looks good. Wish you could bring it to me. I would almost drive there to get some. He's 2.5 hours north of here, right? So I went up Thursday and took him to the emergency room because he has been incredibly sick over the last week. He's been so sick that he's basically been in solitary confinement for the last 8 days. He's hardly eaten anything. I mean, it has sucked incredibly bad for him. And in that time, like I said, he's kind of been in solitary confinement. So what has he had time to do? And so that's kind of the whole premise of this video today, or this evening as it is, because it's late, but nonetheless. Our conversation started about soup, and it ended with, for me, it ended with letting years worth of baggage go. It ended with vomiting feelings and pissed off and love and vomit. Just vomit. Word vomit. I can pick some good ones. But anywho, so when I left here, there was a lot of things going on, and there were a lot of moving pieces when I left here. And it was a chance for me to start over, to do something new, whatever. And Hunter was so proud of me. And I'll tell you, every single one of you who watches, who doesn't, whatever, I'm going to tell the universe right now. What I do in my life, I will always try to make my son proud, to do it for him. Everything that I do revolves around him. Now, I have had people accuse me of being a helicopter mom. Don't smother him. Don't do this, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I brought the boy into the world. He didn't ask to be brought into it. He will always, I don't care if I'm 100 and he's 80. Well, he'll be in his 70s. But anyway, 72. He is my responsibility. To a degree. To a degree. I brought him here. I raised him. In those crucial years, I formed him to the person that he is. Right? So I take responsibility. My mind tells me, you brought him here, you raised him, he's your responsibility. Period. Bar none. If he wasn't a productive member of society like he is, if he wasn't a freaking fantabulous human being like he is, if he was anything less than what he is, he's still mine. And I will do everything in my power to make sure things are copacetic. Period. And I've had some pretty heated conversations about this. That's the way, that's how I go. My parents never walked away from me. Ever. And if I needed them, clear up until the time they left this planet, they were there. Period. I am a 100% flock up, okay? My son is the only living proof that I've done something right. And I've got more days behind me than I do ahead of me, so that's what I told him tonight. So I'd live with it. Yeah, and you have to excuse me for moving around. Well, you don't have to excuse me for nothing, but I don't sit still. My body moves like my brain does. Like there's just always, I'm always in motion. So whether it's anxiety, whether it's some sort of defense mechanism, it is what it is. Nervousness. Well, so one word. My son quickly put me in my place tonight about me moving back here. He did not want me to move back to back to my hometown, which is kind of his hometown, but not really, because I moved him here when he was getting ready to go into the 7th grade, right after his dad and I divorced. Well, a couple of years after his dad and I divorced. And then his dad, a year later, moved to Florida, and we live in Kansas. So, it's not like you get weekend visits, right? Anywho, the short, when his dad and I got together, he didn't want kids. I couldn't have kids, is what they told me. For years, for 13 of them, 13 years, I was told I would never have kids. And then, a year and a half into our relationship, guess what? So, anyway, that's just a little sidebar. So, I'm like, where's this coming from? Because we were talking about soup, and now you're telling me that you don't want to be here, you can't stand it, which he always says it. And our town is a very typical small town. Yeah, it's not good. I was growing up, there were 20,000 people here. There's now less than 9, I think is what it said. Less than 9,000. It has succumbed to the economy. It has succumbed to drugs. It has succumbed to homelessness. Yeah, it's kind of destitute, and it's really sad. And everybody's like, why'd you come back? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not meant to be away from my people. So these people, they've been in my life forever. I have friends. I'm 52, and I have friends that I have had for 49 years. 49. Okay? This is what I know. This is my family. My parents are gone. My grandparents are gone. I'm estranged right now from my little brother. I just left Nevada with my big brother that I really got to know, and we went through a lot. But I thought, my narcissistic mind says, Hunter doesn't want me to come home because he feels like I've lost all the opportunities that I had when I went west. However, when I got put in my place tonight, I found out exactly why. And I never knew or had the wherewithal to realize why he did, the disdain that he has for this part of the world. Because the memories that he has here suck badly. Suck. I have made monumental mistakes as a parent. We all do. I'm human. And I've not met one person that has been 100% correct on the decisions that they make. So, but I'm here to say, full disclosure, monumental mistakes as his parent. It always came with love. Don't ever doubt. Huge love, always. Right? But he tells me today, I don't ever want to go there because the memories I have there, the bad memories I have there supersede any of the good ones. And you talk about a game-changing slap in the face. Hello. I'm like, oh my God. I didn't know. I didn't see that hurt. I hit myself right. Totally didn't see it. Didn't see it for that. I was like, oh, he didn't want to come back here because there's really nothing here. He has a few friends here, but, you know, he's like, he lives up in Kansas City where he can be who he is. I've always tried to encourage him to be who he is. You want to wear your hair long? Wear your hair long. You want to get your ears pierced? Get your ears. Be you. Do not ever, 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 ever fit in the square. Don't do it. I've never fit in the square. Ever. Ever. I've marched to the beat of my own damn drum, and it is... it doesn't keep time. It doesn't. But I thought he didn't want me to come here for me. It's such a narcissistic way of thinking. And when he started talking tonight, I was like, dude, you're hurting my feelers. Because we stopped snapping, and he called me. And as soon as he called me, I was like, what? What? And he was like, oh, so now you're going to be mad. And I was like, dude, I'm not mad. Like, you'd have to set the world on fire in a bad way for me to be mad at you. Like, I just don't get mad. I might get upset with you. I might be like, what the bonehead? What are you doing? No, not mad. And as we dove into this conversation, we talked for an hour and 45 minutes. I'm not going to talk about what we talked about because it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go into details because those are his. They're not mine. And even though he doesn't watch this, I'm quite sure that somebody's going to see it and somebody's like, hey, I've seen your mom, spreading your business. No, I'm not. I'm not going to spread his business. But what I'm going to say is, and what brings it like full front to what I'm trying to achieve on this whole social media platform, is my mind was like, I thought he was mad at me. I'm like, why are you mad at me? I don't understand. And it's like, I'm not mad, but I don't ever want to go there. Anything that has come out of there has not been good. I left there. And in the midst of this, like, he got fussy, I got fussy. It was a full on, and I got kind of quiet. And usually, because I have great intentions, but you know what they say about intentions. I've always wanted the best for him. I've always wanted him to reach for the stars, to believe in himself, to know that he could do it. And all these years that I've been telling him this, he's got other things behind him that are telling him other things. And so he's been in a constant friggin' pull from both sides. And damn, I thought it was all about me, and it's not. And you know what I can't do? I can't fix it. I can't go back. I can't change anything. I can't change any decisions I've made. And what I have to do is look at and acknowledge every shortcoming I have as a parent to be able to help him move past what he's dealing with so that he can move on with his life. And that, my friends, sucks. It sucks. Because we don't ever want to look at ourselves and tell ourselves where we screwed up. But I'm going to tell you something. I told him tonight, I said, you, in a way, are predestined to a degree with the way you feel. And he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, my grandmother had anxiety and she had depression, and if they had talked about PTSD back then, I'm pretty sure she'd have been labeled with that too. She had electric shock therapy until they deemed it inhumane. My mother, all of them. Myself, all of them. My little brother, all of them. I've had one college gen psych class. So I'm not here to say I know or I'm a doctor, and what I'm telling you is what I think. I've lived several 40 plus years with the anxiety and depression and PTSD, the whole 9 yards. So what I'm telling you is what I know. And I think I know a little. Genetics, they have to be involved. They just do. And I'm like, so don't beat yourself up because you feel a certain way. Don't beat yourself up because you're empathetic to a fault. Because you know what? I taught you that. I taught you to put people before yourself. And that was one day he got mad at me and he was like, you know what? You need to quit putting everybody before you. Why don't you take some of your own advice? Game changer. Take some of your own advice. Well, my mind doesn't work that way, so good luck to you. Anyway, I'm just super duper excited over this conversation because I feel like he's awake. I feel like he is seeing some light where he didn't before. And everybody is so narcissistic and superficial that this is all you see. You don't know what's going on here. Period. And I want him to have hope. And tonight, an hour ago, when we got off the telephone, he had hope. I heard it for the first time in a long time. I heard him. I heard him. And he was like, uh, uh, it kind of dumbfounded by the whole thing, as was I. Like, I'm sitting here. I told you, I don't script this stuff out. You know, it's pretty raw. It's going to be what it is. You're either going to watch it or you're not. It's either going to take off or it doesn't. But that's how we work, right? Do we not? You know, I've thought this one way this whole time and thought he was good this whole time, and he's dealing with all these things, and I'm like, damn, as much as my marbles ping and bounce around in there, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. But I get it. And he gets it. I'm so glad he gets it. I'm ready to move into the next phase of our relationship. I'm ready for him to see his potential, what he's worth. And I told him, I said, don't you ever, don't settle like I did. And don't you ever, for 1 second, think that you are worth less than what you're willing to give somebody. Ever. You deserve exactly what you give out. And my son is a giver. He has loved and given more than he's ever gotten in return. Ever. Except from his mama, because, well, yeah. I love him more than life itself. And if anything ever happened to him, my world would cease to spin. Period. How parents move away from their kids, or how kids move away from their parents. I admit the parents don't go bonkers. I went batshit crazy. I mean, I was on a good road to get there anyway, but, you know, no, we don't live in the same town. And no, it's not just as easy as driving down the road. But I'm not meant to be that far away from him. I'm just not in my world. So, you know, it was something that we had to talk about and we had to get through. And, yeah. It was a good conversation. And I told him, he knows that I'm doing these videos. He doesn't watch them, but I was like, dude, you have made 100%, right? 100, 100, whichever, of your 24. Show up. You get up. You go. It's half the battle. Understanding it and trying to figure it out, that's the other half. And I said, I hope I'll do everything in my power to make sure that you have 100% of your puzzle pieces in that box. Don't give your puzzle pieces out unless you know they're going back in the box. You need them, right? So it's kind of just a raw thing tonight. So I am going to do my very best to do at least 3 of these a week, if not more. But tonight I just really wanted to share a victory for us today. So 100% of year 24s. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next 24. Have a good one.